I'm really excited to go into every coaching session because every session is a co-creation journey. So basically I take a journey together with my client to discover something. And every time, of course, we enjoy that journey, and I also find that some of the insights come out so unique and so authentic that I really have this desire to share with you. Many different sessions with different clients are actually pointing towards our life within COVID. So actually people have been doing our best, right? Like a lot of us have started to do things like gardening and telling ourselves that we need to stay positive with our life and treasure the time being with our family and all that. This is a sweet potato plant. But as the whole thing prolonged, like it's starting to be tiring for many of us, even if we are the most optimistic person, right? So with that, quite a number of my clients are basically looking at how we can continue or how we can regain that resilience that they have been holding so wonderfully. That one insight that struck me is really how we have been so fixated on the idea of space, because we feel like we have lost our freedom and then we are so restricted. We can't travel outside, we can't eat outside, for instance, in Singapore. But actually, if we look at that, what we own is not only space, but also time. And time, although the sense of time has been affected, like how we feel about time has changed, but how we actually still have control of time is not any different comparing to before. So what's interesting for me is also that I think recently I had this realization that a lot of times my mind was always about some time later. It's like about the future, about what I'm going to do next, about what is going to happen the next few days or few years and all those things. But I rarely live in the present. So it's a very simple thing, right? Everybody knows we need to be more present, but it's so hard. So what I learned from this particular insight in this coaching session was that there is a space at any point of time. So if we decided to cultivate that space within the time that we have and feel the time that we have right now and consciously and intentionally choose what we want to do, that's going to be giving us a lot of freedom and a lot of sense of control, which we currently feel we are not having, because when we are looking at how we are losing control in the outside world. And therefore, I wrote this article as well yesterday to compile a number of things on how we can feel more in control. And when it comes to control, I think other than time, there are a few things that we feel we are not in control of, but we can gain more control of. So for instance, one is emotion. So feelings are generally not so much within our control, because if we feel sad, right? But it can also be in control when you start to rationalize certain things. So for instance, there could be feelings or emotions that you have denied or refused to embrace, but you have been saying, I feel bad and I don't want to feel bad, so you suppress that. As a result of that, you might feel actually worse. So that's one thing to really become more aware of what are the kind of emotions. Are they desire? Are they fear? Are they just, arising because of uncertainty and all that? So one thing about emotion is once we become aware of emotions, a lot of them, even if we can't control them, they actually become less in control of us, put it this way. The other things I think also reflecting from some of my past coaching conversations are about how we can, better connect with ourselves, because a lot of us feel like, okay, I can't do anything. I can't really live the life I want to, right? So many of us have grown very used to the kind of life where we are, global citizens. We travel everywhere, and then we become now just so stationary in one place. It becomes like I'm not living the life I want because there are so many things I can't do. And I think what really helps for my client in all of these conversations are when we look back at what exactly kind of life you want to live when you are comfortable or confident to say that I didn't waste my life by the end of it. Let's say by the end of COVID period, when this whole thing is finally done and then it's opening up, and then you look back and say, I didn't waste my life back then. And what would that be, right? So look at that, look at the type of activities that you would treasure. It could be spending time with your family, it could be learning something new, or it could be just purely enjoying your life, right? Enjoy being with yourself and your loved ones. So with all that, you can then now see that how you are actually still in control of life, and you can move forward. And lastly, the other point is really on how we can connect with others. So it's been really difficult time for all of us to really connect with others, because we can only do so many of Zoom and so few of real catch up in person, right? And what I'm also hearing is this distress call of some of the people saying, I start to second guess myself. Like, I used to be very confident because I'm an extrovert, and now when people actually are talking to me, when I talk in Zoom, and after that there is a pure silence, and a lot of people are looking down, looking away, maybe they are not even listening, and I don't know what they think of me and what they think of my speech. And hence there's this, what is missing is actually not that we are not talking, but there is no feedback. And we are not so scared of, actually negative feedback is not that bad, but when there is absolutely no feedback, that makes us very unsettled, because we are like, you start to guess, right? Where is the feedback? Is it top? Is it bottom? Is it medium, right? So with all that, it's much going to help us if we are actively picking that up or cultivating that, because in the earlier days we would be just gathering around the water cooler, and then we say, okay, you pick up from the body language, the smile, and you get some reassurance about your relationship. So that's something really, really human. I'm sorry, I'm sweating so much. So there's something really human, and that bit of things that we can pick up from the unspoken environment is missing. But we can always use, Zoom, or even, let's say, try to consciously create more interactions to cultivate this feedback and get more assurance for us ourselves. And also we should also look at how we can give that assurance to our colleagues and people we know, so that they also feel that love. I hope this helps, and wish you a very happy day.